Hello students, welcome back to our channel Study Shastra. In this video, you are going to learn about the Indian economy 1950 to 1990 industrial sector. I hope you understand about the topic so briefly. Let's study. Industry and trade was a very important sector, and industrial sector is one of the secondary sector which is contributing to the Indian economy. Economists have found that poor nations can progress only if they have a good industrial sector. Industry provides employment which is more stable than the employment in the agriculture. It provides the modernization and overall prosperity. It is for this reason that five-year plan places a lot of emphasis on the industrial development. And you might have studied earlier also that there were various kind of industries in the Indian economy that we have studied in chapter 1, like textile industry, or we can say cotton textile industry, silk industries, jute industries, etc. and all. Now, there were two well-managed iron and steel firms, one in Jamshedpur and the other in Kolkata. They need to expand in the industrial base with a variety of industries if the economy was to grow. At that time period, these two industries, iron and steel firms, were doing very well. The public and private sectors in Indian industrial development plays a big role. The big question facing the policymaker was what should be the role of government and the private sector in industrial development. At the time of independence, Indian industrialists did not have the capital to undertake investment in industrial ventures, which is required for the development of Indian economy, nor they have the big market spaces to encourage industrialists to undertake major projects even if they had the capital. And it is primarily for this reason that the erstwhile government had to play an extensive role in promoting the industrial sector. In addition, the decision to develop the Indian economy on socialist lines led to the policy of government controlling the commanding heights of the economy, as the second five-year plan put it. This meant that government would have complete control of those industries that were vital for the economic growth, and the policies of private sector would have to be complementary to those of public sector, with the public sector leading the way. The Industrial Policy Revolution 1956 IPR 1956 was very important in industrial policy. In accordance with the goal of state controlling the commanding heights of the economy, the Industrial Policy Resolution of 1956 was adopted, and this resolution formed the basis of second five-year plan. This resolution classified industry into three categories, and the first category comprised the industries which would be exclusively owned by the government. The second was industries with the private sector that could be supplemented the effort of public sector with the government, and the third category consisted of remaining industries which were to be in the private sector. The purpose of this policy was to promote regional equality in the economy. There were some small scale industries. In 1955, the village in the small scale industries committee called the Karbe Committee noted that there was a possibility of small scale industries for promoting rural development in the economy, and a small scale industry is defined with the reference of maximum investment allowed on the assets of a unit. So, this makes small scale industry origin in the economy, and it is believed that small scale industries are more labor intensive in terms of generating employment. They use more labor than large scale industries, but these industries cannot compete with the big industrial firms. It is obvious that they are small scale industries. They don't have enough amount of capital. They don't have enough amount of modernized technology updates. For this purpose, the production of a number of products were reserved for small scale industry, and the creation of salvation being the ability to these units to manufacture the goods was consistent. They were also given concessions such as lower excise duty, and bank loans should be provided to them at low interest rates to help them to grow their industries. Trade policy, which is import substitution, is very important topic in the industrial revolution, as the industrial policy that India adopted was closely related to trade policy. In the first 7 plans, trade was characterized by what is commonly called an inward-looking strategy. But technically, this strategy is called import substitution. This policy aimed at replacing or substituting imports with the domestic production, that is, making our economy self-reliant and not too dependent on foreign goods. For example, instead of importing vehicles made in a foreign country, industries would be encouraged to produce themselves in India itself. In this policy, the government protected the domestic industries from foreign competition, and protection from imports took two forms, that is tariffs and quotas, because they are a kind of tax. So tariffs are a tax on the imported goods, and they make imported goods more expensive and discourage their use. While quotas specify that quantity of a good which can be imported is fixed, or the effect of tariff and quota is that they restrict import and therefore protect the domestic firms from the foreign competition, because at the time period of 1980s to 1990s, the industrial sector was growing more rapidly than the agricultural one, and in 1991 new economic policy launch, LPG was introduced, which helps the domestic firms to protect themselves from this foreign competition. The effect of policies on industrial development. There was an achievement of industrial sector during the first 5-year plan, which we have already discussed. In 1950 to 1951, there was 13% growth in industrial sector, but in 1990 to 1991, it is 24.6. So there was a rise in the industrial share of GDP, and we have studied GDP in our growth, where we have discussed our 5-year plans previous to previous slide of the video. You can see in the description box, and yeah. So the 6% annual growth rate of industrial sector during the period is commendable because it is doing very well. Then the agriculture one, there was promotion of small scale industries. There were protections from foreign competition by introducing tariffs and quotas. In spite of contribution made by public sector to the growth of Indian economy, some economists are crucial and critical about what will give a rise to the public sector enterprises, and public sector enterprises also grow very well at that time period, but due to absence of competition even till late 1990s, one had to wait for the long time to get some changes in the economy. So the point is that after 4 decades of planned development of Indian economy, no distinction was made what the public sector alone can do and the private sector alone can do. So there was some kind of mixed working in the economy, and as our economy is mixed economy, so we can say that when public and private both sectors contribute together, there will be a better growth. Many public sectors also faces huge losses as privatization after 1990 took its rapid pace. So yeah, and the one question to summarize the whole chapter is match these followings, and this is an homework to all of you who are watching this. Please subscribe to our channel and want to learn about this, and also share to your friends in the important topics with us. Do you want which you want to study? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel.